Hello, guys. Welcome. It's Mel here. I'm going to be talking about social selling. So, really understanding your consumer, why they buy online and why they don't buy online. I always say that I'm going to make this a quick one, and I promise today I'm going to because it's a Saturday. It's not the best day to go live, but I've been away for a couple of days, so I haven't been able to jump on. I usually do these on Thursdays and Fridays, but I haven't been able to do that. So, if you are new here, my name is Melissa Mitchell. I own a marketing agency and I specialize in organic marketing. I am multi-streaming this to a number of, to a few different channels: LinkedIn, my Facebook page, my Facebook business page, as well as my profile, also to TikTok there, and it will go up on YouTube. So, if you are watching from any of those channels, make sure you subscribe, share, follow, tag a fellow business owner. I may not see all of your questions straight away, but if you do drop your questions in the comments, I can come back to them and answer them later. For TikTok in particular, at the end, when I jump off all of my other channels, I will come back to you and answer your questions. I just wanted to jump on and talk about social selling, so selling within different apps. Why it doesn't always work. Quite often brands will open up a social media account, put their brand on there, and wonder why the sales aren't coming in. The first point that I wanted to make is you have to understand how a consumer uses social media. So if you think about how you use your phone or your device, you are literally using that phone, or whatever you're using. It's 9 times out of 10 it's a phone rather than an iPad or a laptop. You have to understand that most people, thank you so much there for the gift. I appreciate that. For those who aren't watching on TikTok, TikTok has got this fabulous feature where people send you gifts, and it's really, really generous, and I appreciate it so much. So that's why I'm giving people a shout out there. Thank you so much. Hey, Husky Strutters, how are you? Welcome back there. So you have to understand how a consumer consumes your content. They are literally picking their kids up, or they're cooking dinner, or they're sitting on the couch, or they're in their lunch break. And what they're doing is they're literally picking up their phone and they're scrolling quite quickly. That is why it can be really, really hard to make a sales conversion for your business in that moment. And quite often when we're designing our content for our business and our marketing plan, we're not thinking of that. We're just thinking of it as a brand and we want to make a sale. So that's the first thing that you need to consider when you're marketing your product is how do consumers consume content? It's very different to, sitting down and going to find, I'm going to go and research because I want to find that product. How many of you that are watching have actually said, okay, I'm going to sit down and, okay, this is a mouse. This is not a phone, obviously. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to pick up my phone and I'm going to buy a pair of shoes or sign up to a gym or purchase a getaway or whatever it is, and then go onto Facebook and do that. None of us do. But we do this if, going to follow back there. We do this if that emotional connection is there. We will convert, but it does take some time. We need that know, like, and trust from that person. But no one actually picks up their phone and goes to Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, whatever platform you're using, Instagram, etc., to make a conversion. No one does that. The only platform that people really, really use, and it's considered a future forward platform, where people go and they do research on a future purchase, and this is why we call it a future forward platform, is Pinterest. So Pinterest is really set up where people can work out what they want to purchase. It's got boards on there that they can pin their research to, and they can start to work out, like if someone's getting married, they can start to work out what hairstyles they want. perhaps, what local hairdressers they might want to use, or what local makeup artists they might want to book into, what venues. If they're losing weight, they might want to look at what personal trainers, what gyms, what meal plans they might want to purchase with, what sort of people. The other platforms don't offer this. And that's why you have to be really, really careful when you're putting your content together on how you're presenting this to your audience. Because if you keep that in mind, no one goes to social media to buy. And even with Pinterest, as we're talking about a future forward platform, the conversion still isn't there in that first connection. So you've still got to understand that. So if you're a business owner, or you're marketing your brand online, I want you to really start thinking about that. Really start thinking about how your consumer consumes content, how your consumer goes there, and how they're going to really get connected to your content so that they want to make that conversion. Now, so how do we go from just picking up the phone, got my mouse here, let's pretend it's a phone, how are they going to stop, connect with your content, want to come back, start to get that trust, so that next time, perhaps not next time, maybe not even the 10th time, maybe the 20th time that they've connected with your content, how are they then going to make that conversion? The next thing that I wanted to point out, I'm just letting my dog in here. Oh, he's gone. So I've got a chihuahua and he just scratches at the door until we let him in. The next thing that I want you to think about is, once you've got the trust with your audience, okay, and that comes with your content in letting your audience in. People really have to understand and really get to know you. Once you've got that trust in, and if you go back and watch some of my older content, I've talked about how do you start to get the trust, particularly with my last live and my last video. If you're watching YouTube or LinkedIn or Facebook, I talked about how can you build up that content to get that trust from your audience. Now, what you need to think about is making that conversion easy for your customer. Now, keep in mind, social media platforms really don't. Thank you for all the follows there on TikTok. I really appreciate that. Now, what you have to start to think about is, how am I going to get that person to convert? Thank you so much there. Thank you so much for sending me that gift. I appreciate that so much. That's on TikTok there. Really appreciate that. So how can I spoon feed my audience so that that conversion is a lot easier? Now, keep in mind, hey, Jason, how are you? A social media platform does not want, and this doesn't matter what social media platform we're talking about here, be it LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. A social media platform will favor content that doesn't actually take you off their platform. So you have to be very, very specific and very careful on how you craft your content and your call to action. So your CTA, your call to action on getting that person to convert. So that's the next issue, really, or hurdle that you've got to get around for social selling. Now, platforms like TikTok started off kind of the trend, or the, I guess it's a trend, but TikTok really does work, and I've talked about this before, really does set the standard on all the other digital platforms on how we really set things up and go about things in the digital world. So TikTok bought out TikTok Shop. Now, here in Australia, we don't quite have it yet, but it is coming. So TikTok Shop, if you look at that, that is set up because they do not want people to leave the platform. They don't. They want everything to be in-house. Now, Meta, so Facebook and Instagram, is bringing out their own very, very soon, which I believe is going to be powered by Shopify. That doesn't mean you need to go out and get a Shopify website. The software will be inbuilt. That's why so many people have had trouble with Instagram shops and Facebook shops. But if you can understand what I'm saying here, you really have to think about the consumer journey, how a consumer shops, but also work within the limitations of a social media platform to give it what it wants. So, one, you need the trust from your audience. You need to understand how a consumer shops, but you also need to give a social media platform what it wants. And that means the less time you can get the consumer to leave the platform to make a conversion, the better. So sometimes that could be, yes, you want to direct them to your bio, or it could be that you start a conversation with that person through a DM and you make the conversion this way. So another smart way to do this, because social media platforms can pick up the words click, click the link, click here, and it starts to realize you're trying to take it off the platform. So another smart way that you can do this is by using software like ManyChat. I'm not affiliated in any way. This is a bot software that automates and sends with you set up keywords. So when you, now I don't believe it integrates with TikTok or LinkedIn, but it does integrate with Instagram and Facebook. There could be others that integrate. I don't know. I haven't looked into it in a while. It could integrate with LinkedIn and TikTok. I'm not too sure, but I don't think it does at this stage. But look into it. Maybe I'm wrong there. And this is where you mention a keyword and you set it up, and it sends a DM to that person. And then it actually takes them to do that conversion. So there's smarter ways to do it. So that's what I wanted to mention tonight, is really think about how a consumer shops. You've got 3 seconds to really stop that person scrolling while they're picking their kids up or cooking dinner. Really get them into your world, really get them in there so that they want to hang around. Oops, sorry, my live stream there. So that they want to, sorry, I'm just having some troubles with the internet there, so that they want to hang around. And also, how can you maybe shop, get your audience to shop within the platform? And how can you, thank you for all the follows there, and how can you also create a space that's selling without selling? That's the actual trick. So you're selling without selling. So educational content is the best way to do this. Offer your audience, educate, 70% educational and value-based audience. So just like what I'm doing here, I'm offering educational value-based audience. Now, you don't always have to get on and do a live. It could be through a meme, a poll, a text base, image base, whatever. As long as you're offering 70% educational value, people will then feel like they're part of your community. They will be more likely to click through and, want to perhaps learn a little bit more about what you do. And then you'll start to find it a little bit easier to make a sales conversion. So they are my top tips. I'm going to jump off now and let you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you for joining me. TikTok, I'm going to hang around just a touch longer to check if there's any messages there. For everyone else, I will check if anyone's asked any questions after I jump off the TikTok live, because I am using StreamYard there. If you're watching the replay, still drop your questions below. Of course, if you're watching on YouTube or any other platform, make sure you do subscribe, share, and follow. There will be a link somewhere around this video. You can also subscribe to my newsletter for free. And thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you, and I shall see you next time. I hope this helps in your business. Chat to you guys soon. Bye. Okay.